Will evangelical Christian voters abandon their man Donald J. Trump? Well, I got this article from The Hill here. It's titled, Trump's Shifting Abortion Stance Raises Questions for Evangelical Support. So for those who don't really pay attention to politics or what Trump says, I mean, it's hard to follow everything he says, really, because he says so much. Lately, he's been taking a softer stance on abortion. He even made a post saying that his administration would be great for reproductive rights. So that's a very progressive sounding framing, and it pissed off a lot of right-wingers. Matt Walsh stands out as an example who was just infuriated by this, but nonetheless said he would vote for Donald Trump. But will all evangelicals who would previously vote for Trump turn out for him if they don't think that he's going to be tough on abortion? Well, let's take a look what this article says. So, former President Trump's softening stance on reproductive health has raised questions about his standing with evangelical voters, a key part of his coalition dating back to 2016. Let's also keep in mind that in 2016 and 2020, Donald Trump's running mate was one Mike Pence, the governor of Indiana, and a very, very popular guy among evangelical Christians, a really calm, chill guy, a great radio voice, just the perfect man for winning over white evangelicals, especially in the Midwest. Now he's got J.D. Vance, who doesn't seem to have that same appeal. Now, I think Vance is a better debater than Mike Pence was, but Vance does not have that same appeal to the white evangelicals, and on the other hand, comes off as a lot more weird and unapproachable than Pence does. Last week, the former president said he would veto a national abortion ban if elected, while his running mate, J.D. Vance, said the GOP needed to regain voters' trust on the issue. Former First Lady Melania Trump went even further, emphatically voicing her support for abortion rights. So I did a video on the Melania Trump issue and what she said in her memoir, how she really thinks that abortion is actually an important freedom to women in America, and that it's crucial. Like, you can't have freedom without the freedom to an abortion, in her view. And this is strongly cutting against what the majority of the GOP thinks, what a majority of conservative voters who are pro-life think, where they think, no, that's not a fundamental freedom, that's essentially murder. And you need a very strong exception in order to get an abortion to justify it. So this changed rhetoric has led to some questions whether Trump will be able to maintain enthusiasm among white evangelicals who are generally seen as opposed to abortion. Quote, they just don't fully understand the depth of meaning that the abortion issue has to evangelicals and what that could translate into, said Terry Ammon, an evangelical pastor based in Des Moines, Iowa, who met with Trump in the run-up to the GOP presidential primary. Why wouldn't you run on that and court those evangelicals? A man noted. So I see what he's getting at, but at the same time, Trump knows that he can't be too extreme in that direction on abortion. So he's really playing a game here of weighing the costs and the benefits. And yes, I do think he's smart enough to know the costs and the benefits. I think his political instincts are better than a lot of people give them credit for. And he's like, well, I've already got the evangelical types on lock, probably, most of them. I don't have people who are not staunchly pro-life on lock. Independents who are pro-choice, but maybe don't put it as their most important issue. So I'll throw a few bones to the pro-choice crowd. I don't think that's going to work out for him, though. I don't think he's going to win their votes. But many in the evangelical community say the former president still enjoys high popularity with the voting bloc, pointing to his record of appointing conservative Supreme Court justices that led to the overturning of Roe v. Wade in 2022. Yeah, and that's kind of where the analysis ends, in my view. I think Trump has got them on lock. I don't think that his pro-choice tactics are going to work in courting pro-choice voters. But at the same time, I don't think he's going to lose evangelical voters. I think evangelical voters can simultaneously care so deeply and passionately about abortion, but also understand that Donald Trump is their best shot, that he's their guy, that Kamala Harris is not their candidate, and so they'll just show up and vote for him. Because, like it or not, we've seen time and again that right-wing voters, Republican voters, will overlook areas where a candidate is not perfectly in lockstep with them and turn out to vote for them. They've done it for Trump. They've done it 2 election cycles now. Donald Trump gets to do basically whatever he wants, and they still support him. They say, well, he's not a Democrat. He's not one of those satanic, abortion-loving, baby-murdering creeps. So we're gonna vote for Trump, you know. So yeah, we don't see that on the Democratic side. We don't see people saying, oh, I disagree with this candidate so massively on so many things, but I'm still going to vote for them. I mean, we see that less frequently than the Republican side, I should say. Republicans, older people in general, are better at turning out to vote. So yeah, I'm going to read this quote. President Trump has remained amazingly consistent on his viewpoint that it ought to be left up to the states to decide their own abortion policy, said Robert Jeffress, pastor of First Baptist Church in Dallas. And yeah, he has been kind of consistent on that, at least in the past few months of the election cycle. But he's also been throwing bones to the pro-choice crowd. I mean, what do you think it is when he says, my administration will stand up for reproductive rights? He's not reaching out to the pro-life crowd. He's reaching out to the pro-choice crowd. Yeah, and I don't think this is gonna harm him if he just says leave it up to the states and I won't vote to sign a national abortion ban. I just don't think it's gonna harm his evangelical support, because I mean the evangelicals likely know that within their own home state they can now vote to totally ban abortion. The states have full autonomy over it. There's no longer a federal constitutional right to abortion, and that's that. So yeah, I do not see Trump losing support among white evangelicals. I think that this election is very close, and it's going to depend on how much of the voter blocks that Kamala Harris and the Democrats typically struggle with that Kamala Harris can activate to come out and vote for her and against Trump. So yeah, this election is not so much about who's going to show up and vote for Trump. We all know who's going to show up and vote for Trump. Evangelicals, right-wing types, whether it's young or old. Mostly it's older folks, but like, yeah, you know, the younger types, like the Charlie Kirk types. Yeah, those types of people who, yeah, are just like, yo, I stand with Trump. Maybe abortion's not their number one issue, but yeah, they're like religious, and they think that the Democrats are socialists. The economic types as well, the big business types. The big business types love the Republicans. They will turn out and vote for a big fat tax cut for themselves. And yeah, what can Kamala Harris do? Kamala Harris can go out and try to activate her own voter bases. And yeah, a lot of those voters that might be undecided, if there are any. There are, but it doesn't seem like there's that many at this point. So yeah, that's my analysis of the situation. This article was an interesting read, but I don't think that Trump's going to lose support among evangelicals. I think that he's going to stay pretty strong with them, and he can say whatever he wants on abortion, and these people will be loyal to him to the bitter end. So yeah, as always, if you like this video, if you found it interesting, insightful, or helpful, please leave a like, comment, or subscribe to the channel. I'm really trying to push out some new content on this election. From here on out, we are going to make November 2024, October 2024, the 2 most interesting months ever. But yeah, leave a like, comment, or subscribe. Thank you so much for watching this video. And as always, I look forward to speaking to you in the next video.